So the risk and value driver assessment. The reason you would be completing a risk and value driver assessment would be for one of two purposes. Either standalone to help your client understand where their risks are in their business, help them improve. This is a needs to solutions mind map that you would typically use to help engage your client in relation to valuing their business. So if we have a look at the risk and value driver assessment, it actually covers a number of areas that are critical to understanding a business's risk and value drivers. We'll open it up shortly and we'll go online to see where you access that. But let's just have a look through what it actually does. It enables you and your clients, usually the business owner, to understand how their business looks in relation to industry, business performance, growth, risk, competition, management information, owner risk, customers, market demand, staff, and succession and estate planning. All of the critical issues within a business that we need to understand when providing advice to either improve the business if it's a standalone process you're going through, or to understand its risk profile in valuing the business. So we may come back to this mind map. You'll certainly see this in the BCRC session, because it's important to understand all the different components that make up a valuation. So what we'll do now is we'll go across to the website, we'll sign in, as you will do. You'll put in your password, and that'll take you through to your Alliance Partner site. So where I'm going to go to first off, find the appropriate RAVDA, risk and value driver assessment to provide to our client for them to complete. So you can see all of the menu on top here. I'm going to go to Tools, and I'm going to go to the Business Cap Rate Calculator. So that takes us to this page. And if we just wind down this page, you'll see that there are a number of risk and value driver assessments. So what we're going to open up today is we're going to open up the Small to Medium Enterprise Risk and Value Driver Assessment Worksheet. Now when you do this, your branded version, as you can see, this is the Bstar branded version, but when you do this, your branded version will appear. And it's important to understand what this document's for. This is the PDF document, the PDF version of the RAVDA that you'll provide to your clients to complete and get back to you. And as you can see, the outcomes on the first page, it provides you a risk score, which is a key input into the business cap rate calculator. So if you're doing a valuation, you must complete a risk and value driver assessment. It also enables you to understand where the business's risks are, and it gives you and the business owner an opportunity to do that. It also helps you understand where the business can improve. So as I said earlier, you can use the risk and value driver assessment as a standalone tool to effectively work out where can the business owner improve, or as one of the key components and inputs for the business cap rate calculator. So let's just wind through this document a little bit. So around about 80 questions. There are a number of industry versions of this, and you will see those on your website when you sign in. The generic SME one basically suits any business. However, if there is an industry where we have customised the RAVDA to that industry, then you should use that risk and value driver assessment. So the idea here is to actually go through all of those industries that we went through, all of the sections that we went through a little earlier in the mind map. And your client, pretty simply, circles the response to each one. The box on the right-hand side, the degree of concern, HM or L, high, medium or low. This is where you're actually working with your clients in more of an advice consulting process to actually identify, well, if that is a high risk, then do we need to do something about it? What's the degree of concern and the level of urgency for us to actually work with that? So in some cases, excuse me, in some cases when you're using the risk and value driver assessment, you'll actually be identifying through this process maybe the top 4 or 5 things that you'll actually work with the business owner on over the next 12 months and have a particular focus on improving their risk profile and their value drivers through doing that. So this is a really simple document to complete. It covers all of the key areas of the business. There's an opportunity there for you to actually also put comments and observations from the process as you go through it. So as I said, pretty simply, it's predominantly a subjective or a qualitative assessment. There are some quantitative questions in there as well, as you can see, particularly in relation to business performance. So once completed, the business owner gets that back to you, the advisor, and when you then assess that document. You don't only assess that document, once your client has completed the risk and value driver assessment, you need to assess their responses to make sure they make sense, and then you need to enter that information into the risk and value driver assessment tool to calculate the risk and value driver score. So let's go through and do that and show you how that works. You go back to tools, to business cap rate, but this time you go across to the RAVDA. Click on RAVDA, and what that then brings up is an input page. Now, there are some significant advantages in having the RAVDA online. Firstly, it enables you to simply calculate the score. And as we know, the risk and value driver score is one of the 4 key inputs to calculate the cap rate for valuing the business. What the online functionality also does is enable you to do a what if RAVDA score as well. So you're actually able to work with your clients to understand the change in RAVDA score as a result of making changes in their business. And of course, that flows all the way through to understanding what the change in value would be. So if you've previously done a RAVDA and you wanted to change it for whatever reason or update it, then all your previous RAVDAs are listed as in all the other tools and programs in Bstar. But in this case here, let's put in a new client. We're going to select the industry they're in. So let's pick manufacturing. So we'll go manufacturing, food product manufacturing, and fruit and vegetable processing. So in this case here, we're the same as when completing a business cap rate calculation or in producing a benchmark report. We are using the ANZIC codes to make sure that we're actually selecting industries. One of the key reasons of that is we want to make sure that we're comparing apples with apples, not only in relation to financial performance or value, but as a result of the RAVDA now being online, over time, we will then be able to start comparing RAVDA scores within industry groups. So identify which industry your client is within. Now, if you were doing the RAVDA as part of evaluation, which is the most common reason why, then this is what you'd complete first online before you actually do all the other data input for a business cap rate calculation. And the reason is this information flows through to the business cap rate calculator. So no double keying. So I'll just pop in, we won't complete it online, but we'll just put in a few details. And what I'm doing is creating the new RAVDA. So that then takes me through to the input section. And you can see it's chosen the small to medium enterprises RAVDA. If I had selected GPs, or if I had selected pharmacy or engineering, or one of those industries where we have a specific industry RAVDA, then it would have selected that RAVDA. So all we need to do now is we need to complete the online RAVDA by clicking in the responses. You don't even need to click on the specific circle, just click on the box somewhere near it. And as a result of that, that will record the response. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I won't complete all of this, but what I will do is I'll do some responses, and you'll see as a result of that we will get a risk and value driver score. Just as we do this, as you can see, there's lots and lots of questions and assessment in relation to the qualitative and quantitative parts of a business, competition, staff, management information, owner dependency, performance, all of those key areas. I won't go any further, but what I will do now is I'll wind down to the bottom, I'll hit save. So that's recording all of that information, and it's now calculating a RAVDA score. And as you can see, the RAVDA score has come up at 3.8. Now, I haven't completed all of the data input, but I think you get the idea. What this means now is I've now completed. I've done some of the data input. I have a RAVDA result, and as a result of that, I can now go on and complete, if that is the next part of the process, a business cap rate assessment for this business using the BCRC. So it's as simple as that. But before we close this session, what I want to do is show you the what if functionality. So we'll go back to Tools, back to the RAVDA, and this time what I'm going to do, instead of entering a new client, is I'm going to call up Test A. I'm going to load the existing entry, and as you can see, it brings up the information previously. Now, if I wanted to update this, for example, I didn't complete all the input, pretty simple. I can just hit update the current RAVDA. But let's say that we had completed the RAVDA, and as a result of that, and after we had completed evaluation, we then sat down with the business owners and identified the top 5 or 6 areas where they believe they could improve. Let's change the name to Test B. We can now create a what if RAVDA to see what the difference in risk profile and the RAVDA score would be as a result of them making changes in their business. So the original input is saved. What we now do is we now go through and we make changes. As we know, the risk and value driver assessment gives us great opportunities to understand what the impact of change is. Not only understanding the impact, but understanding the impact on the financial performance and the value of the business. So if I hit save, you can see the old score was 3.8. The new score is 4.9. Now, as a result of the changes we've made, and neither here nor there which ones I've done, I've only clicked a few boxes, but what you can see is there is a very, very clear, easy way to understand the impact of change, but also measure the impact of change. And as we know, in this example here, 3.8 to 4.9, that's a substantial change in RAVDA score, and that will also have a significant influence in the value of the business by increasing and improving. So that's the risk and value driver assessment. It's a fantastic standalone tool. It's also, as we know, a critical and important part of the risk and value driver assessment. So I ask you to identify some of your clients that you believe you can work with and help them improve their business. Sit down with them, engage with them through using the engagement tools, in particular the Needs to Solutions mind maps. Help them understand the importance of working on their business and understanding how you can help them add value.